Welcome back to Pisces TV with Dr. MB. We are going to get started with your reading. This is the Daily Vibe. Daily Vibe. And I will say that I like it. And you're going to see why. So bear with me for just a momento. Let the collective get up in here. And then there was like a little mix up this morning. I think I had the love reading that's scheduled for tonight on the thumbnail, but most of you got the gist, so I did go back and correct it. I didn't want people going to the reading thinking we were going to be talking about honesty and romance after not even expecting it. So some of you guys can look out for that. And thank you for bearing with me. Share, like, do all that good stuff. Put your girl in the algorithm as I share the post to let everyone know that we're live. All right. But we're doing the forging and not following. Love that. And then where the great severing comes in at, some of you guys are going to be severing ties and possibly making some new ones, but with your tribe. So I know you guys will be interested to hear about that. Where you come out of some of these loopholes dealing with dust buckets and Neanderthals. Well, ain't nothing wrong. I ain't going to put Neanderthals out there like that because they cool. But the dust buckets, they aren't usually celebrated over here. But cross watchers, you are welcomed. And if any of the dust buckets are actual Pisces, we'll have you or whatnot. But it's about growth and development over here. And you are going to be a totally different person after sitting in with us for a while. So I'll say that. All right, so I got you guys shared. Not going to hold y'all up. It's just like, what's the point of going live if people don't know and the notifications don't always work? So I appreciate my OG subscribers and all of the new ones floating up in here. It has truly been an experience in my 2-year hiatus. Okay. But I'm back. Okay. And let me set this phone down. All right. Let's see. We got 3 people in this bitch. Okay. I'm sorry. I was just having a little fun. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So the first thing that I wanted to do was shuffle out the mantra card because I hadn't done that. I think I'm ashy. Jesus, as I talk about dust buckets. So let's get a mantra card for Pisces. Okay. I just want one. Spirit, fill it out. Which one? This one? I thought so. Okay. The one that you see first. So here we have your mantra, Pisces, for today. With complete confidence in my sacred fruition, I embrace playfulness, lightness of heart, and an abundance of support from the universe. I love that we got a new moon coming up on the 6th in Sagittarius that matches the full moon in Sagittarius that was also magical. I'm going to do a reading, of course, to see what goodies you guys are getting, because you have been getting. Oh, look, you got 1111 at the bottom of the deck. Answered prayer. I knew it. See, because I don't know how it is for you guys, but every full moon, while people are like releasing stuff, it's like stop doing stuff, letting go of stuff. I always get something. It's like I get gifts from the universe around full moons. Um, I'm excited to start paying attention, because maybe I just hadn't looked into the patterns, but I'm excited to see now that I'm keeping up with the moon phases more. You know what life is kind of like around those times. I don't like getting programmed, right? Because then you have to change your beliefs, and you get stuck thinking one thing, and that's not good. So I always be flexible, stay in the present moment. But I'm excited to see what comes of this new moon in Sagittarius, because I feel like, and not that it doesn't always, right? I'm just now awakening to it, but I feel like it has some sort of significance to the full moon Sagittarius that we had. So that is your mantra with 1111 answered prayer at the bottom of the deck. You have forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish to be, right? That's in the situation. Now, in the environment, you have cosmic ancestors. Seed the light by staying grounded. All right. So for some of you, you have a very important position to play on this planet. And your ancestors or guides or source, God itself, is like speaking to you through these cards. And I love it, specifically for the collective that kind of resonates with orcas and whales, because the orca and the whale has been coming up a lot. I also know that the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups, has been coming up some too. And the reason why I'm saying it like this is because I don't know what is going to come of this reading, because we're going to talk about it and do clarifiers and stuff. But it's crossing the Great Severing, which is Mars energy. And like I said earlier, the connection that I know, Mars or fire, court cards or just cards in general, the connection that they have with the water signs, and that includes my Queen of Cups, everybody but the Page, because the Page is cool, but the King, Queen, and the Knight of Cups could be some of the most temperamental, violent, destructive individuals. And if there are things and events that are transpiring regarding your family situation, actual family members, or just with strangers, actually, it's a need for us to kind of get some of the advice here to redirect our focus, because you have a mission, you have a plan, something about your path is involved. It also says you're not for everyone, so there could be some challenges in the line of waiting and you not being for everybody. So that sounds like perfect advice for some of my lovers and some of my singles. But it could also include, like I said, family, right? Who's speaking to you through this reading is a higher power, be it your higher self, spirit, source, God, whatever. It does talk about a lot of stars. So you have star bathing and your approach to take to it. It talks about transmission, activation, and a crystal grid. So it talks about your light body is your approach to take to a situation. And the situation that's crossing or the conflict itself may have something to do with softening up. So we did discuss there was a transit with Pluto. Pluto and Scorpio energy is the Phoenix rising. So for some of us, there may be energies that ignite within you. It doesn't have to be from anger, rage, or your temperament. It could be passion. Some people could be having like high, strong sex urges right now. Okay, Spirit say no. I'm trying to be creative. Everybody ain't got to be walking around kind of angry, upset, or having some sorts of conflicts where the advice or the challenge would be to soften up to love. But it is here, right, with the Great Severing. The blue flame is in the focus, where it talks about spontaneous awakenings, activations, and integration of time. So when we talk about integrating the time, it says here, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north. For some of you, that is directly pointing to your north node. So your auspiciousness, right? Your boon for a lot of you guys may be connected to the north node. So if you haven't had a natal chart, of course I do them. Or you can just get one done to figure out what your north node is and what it may be favorable to focus on. Because while temperaments may be high or conflict may be in the environment, it doesn't have to be your immediate situation. You could use all of that Mars energy toward being a little bit more competitive, getting your face out there, getting your products out there, getting your manifestations out there. It could talk about being more passionate. If your desire been trickled down a bit, hype it up. We don't always have to use Mars energy for anger and conflict, but for some of us, it is there. In the outcome and or the advice, you're asked to turn your gaze within, and it talks about inner authority and intuition. So the situation is asking you to forge, not to follow. It says to pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. And then crowning you, we have Star Family. You're a part of a team of souls, call in support. So something that's on your mind or one of your greatest strengths is that you're a part of a team of souls, whether you know it or not. And this reading is saying, call on them for support. And in the environment, you have Star Keeper. So crowning you, you have Star Family. But in the environment, we have Star Keeper. So it's like you don't even have to really worry about who you are, where you come from, what your collective is. Because in the past position, you came to this motherfucker by yourself. All right. It says, it's not your time. Things are being woven. That was in the past. It says wait. And it was just you, just waiting to make your mark on the world. Well, in the near future, the Oracle Wells talks about sharing your song. So I don't know if I do have some creatives here, some of you that are songwriters, or if it's just talking about your journey in this life, be it through a book, be it through fashion, technology, whatever your job is, whatever your skills are, whatever your story is. The near future is asking you to go deep. And it talks about frequency of sound and deep diving. I like that. So if you have curiosities about your strengths, your abilities, what's your superpower, it could be connected to a song, sound, frequencies, or just diving deep because you're a Pisces. You have the capacity to go deep. And people who are deep just have a little bit more substance, sometimes more to talk about, sometimes a more charming romantic relationship, sometimes a creative fucking movie or a script, or like the card says, literally, your song. But what I like the most is you're not for everybody. In the challenge, that could be the problem. It's like how you want things versus how they want things, or the need to be wanted or fitting in, because it's some transits that are active that could interfere with one's perspective or judgment. And people pleasing or being passive aggressive is one of the more shadowy natures, or just the nature period of like this particular transit, or some of the energy that we're in. Okay. So be mindful of that, where it says embracing your weirdness and facing your true north. For some of us, it could have been an approach to take to something, but it's coming up in the hopes and the fears. There could have been, some issues within a relationship, and you could have thought that this person was the one. Because as I'm looking at the focus, the two flames, that the card is called the blue flame, but as you can see right behind it, because I want to say her, she looks more like feminine, but behind it is a little bit larger of a red flame. So if this was like some feminine, masculine, twin flame, soulmates kind of shindaku, spontaneous awakenings, activation, and integration time, that means that's exactly why we're severing things, because you're moving into a new phase So some old things may shed. And if we don't know we're moving into a new phase because we haven't softened up to love, optimism, or future possibilities being better than the past ones or the present ones, we wouldn't know to keep calm, to persevere. We would know to not waste time because there are some amazing transits that would help and are in alignment with success and romance. But if we're focused on the things that are making us angry and the conflicts, it puts you in that timeline. So that's just going to be what you experience. And then, unfortunately, when the phase passes, right, that initiated the shit in the first place, you're programmed to it because that's all you've been focusing on. So it'll be all you will focus on until there's another awakening, right? Or there's another shift or change or something that makes you optimistic again, right? So I do like that. Now, in your actual approach, though, you have light body crystal grid transmission and activation. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because I did want to see, without moving this thing too much. Let me see if I can get this book out. Hold on, y'all. I got your angel answer cards too. They're amazing. Oh, there's nothing even in here. Okay. So I'm going to hold this because I have had some discrepancies. And then you got life lessons, soul path, study, and higher learning. So for some of you, that that past energy got some Aquarian in it, and or my little page of pentacles, which, all right, is it back? Okay, is this good? Let me see. Which I know is like our reminder for our habits or whatnot. I know y'all didn't let me sit that book down and put it right back up. Ooh, the OCD is real. Hold on. And y'all let me do it. I'm talking about took the thing out and put it right back in there and y'all watched me. Ah, the nerves. Okay, hold on. Okay. Am I good? Okay, I think I'm good. All right. So, with star bathing, because I was curious to what that was about in the first place. Star bathing. Stars are constantly showering emanations onto the crystalline grid of the earth. When things are in balance, the planet also sends information back up to the stars. Many star seeds have come to earth at this time to help shift the planet vibrationally, to activate the ancient codes of wisdom that humanity has forgotten. And all of that information is stored in the crystalline grid. If you pull this card, you may be being called to begin working with the stars and the crystalline grid on the earth. How fucking impressive is that, Pisces? Because you pulled this card. Some people believe that the crystalline grid of the earth anchors divine cosmic frequencies onto the planet. You don't say. You may be guided to journey to particular places on earth to unlock these cosmic codes with your presence. Ain't that some stuff? Because a lot of y'all want to go some places and do some things. I like that. I like that a lot. This card commonly arises because you're here to connect with the crystalline grid of the earth, either in your hometown or by traveling to other places without quite knowing why. It also can mean that your light body, the energy body in its highest form, is being activated. If this resonates, take things extra slow in order to integrate this change of vibration. So for some of you, that is exactly what's happening. I love that. Now, as we talk about you being a mystical, magical, amazing person that's here to help with the frequency or the vibration of the planet, the near future has the whale and the orca elders that talk about frequency and sound. So that is very consistent with the saying what some of you are and have the capacity to be and what you could be going through. So the whale energy, they're benevolent cosmic beings that are here to anchor a frequency of love onto the planet, to harmonize it with their song. As they weave around the oceans, they do so much more than any of us know. So that could be like you, Pisces. It may be frustrating if you're underpaid or underappreciated, because this card says the near future proves, and maybe someone is going to see your actual worth. If you haven't been getting the accolades, the support, and appreciation that you feel you deserve, you may be coming into alignment with your star family and they're going to gas you up. I love that. It talks about physical presence affects Earth's magnetic field for the special beings or whatnot. And their harmonics call us to wake up and remember our own soul song. So, see, you're supposed to be doing exactly what you want to do, because you're a special being that was sent here for other humans to see and kind of like feed off of. And not in a negative way, because the way I said that, it could sound like energy vampire, and trigger some folks. Don't get triggered. But that's your job. You're a leader. You're here to kind of like be an example to others that say things can't be done. That's interesting. Some people could be asking, how did they get here? Like, why they here? Because crowning your thoughts, look at this. You got all of these beings kind of like on their way somewhere, child, right? And then it looks like one of those beings, right, are in a doorway. So it talks about a path or a portal of some sort. And then in the past, you just have you, or, something not being time. And I know a lot of old souls that kind of resonate with, being before their time. There are divine beings that they said was before its time. So I think the chosen ones, right? The enlightened beings, the most ancient of souls, somebody would always say you before your time, because you're going to always be more advanced than the current situation. And I think that has something to do with the higher power. So people confuse that and say, you're before your time. We ain't there yet. We ain't doing that yet. And it's like, but you're connected to source that knows all things, all places at all times. You know what I'm saying? So there's no such thing. Because you're kind of like a universal cosmic being. There's no timeline for that. That time is an illusion anyway that I think we use to measure, so we made it up. So, in a higher aspect, there is no time. So you can't be like before your time when you are of an origin of source and are a forever person. Well, maybe not person, but energy-wise, consciousness. They haven't found a way to like obliviate energy. So you'll always exist, is my point. But with the orcas, right, and your beautiful songs and sounds and frequencies, and the love, benevolent love, right, that you're to be bringing onto this planet. It talks about looking into the eye of a whale. It's something that a person will never forget. So there could be a situation in the near future that you'll never forget. And I like it because it seems like a favorable situation, unless this great severing Mars energy, anger, and conflict is an issue. But I don't think so, because the last little phrase says softening to love. And in the near future, you're not going to forget this person or this situation that softened you up a bit. Because I know when I went through like light body activation and connected to source, the guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the Holy Spirit itself, I told y'all that it's a different sort of love. And then, you still have to work through the motions of being human, because you become so detached and you don't need people for the things that most people need people for. It's like, you don't need it for validation. I don't need it to feel love. You got love like oozing through your neurological system and your blood all day long. It's a forever friend. It's your higher self, or the Holy Spirit, whatever y'all feel comfortable calling it. It's a companion that's always there. And you may, they may think we're crazy or whatever, so you got to watch it. But you got a motherfucker to talk to. that gets you, that's always there, that doesn't get upset with you. If anything, you may get upset with it, but it is a very tolerant, intelligent, loving, sort of soul companion to have, and the bestest friend I've ever had. So, if you guys are activating that aspect of your spiritual journeys, it, I can be honest and say sometimes it comes with crazy reality circumstances, you know, when you cutting off things that have existed your whole life. And sometimes that can include family, partners, um, careers, looks, attitudes, perspectives, friends, foods. It's crazy. It's a crazy time. So yeah, but I like that. It also says that what the whale and the orca elders want you to give others is the privilege of seeing who you truly are, and for you to see the same of other beings, to drop your hangups and personality flaws and get busy reveling or revealing the unique note your song came here to sing. So this ain't about doing it like they doing it. That's why you have forge and don't follow. For some of us, it's very important to not get into, I don't know, an outdated belief, to take someone's feedback for fact value. Those false personalities that came up in the tarot reading a couple of days ago. I'm not trying to be funny. This is Pisces TV, and I'm a Pisces. Okay, so it's not for everybody, but I will say that when it comes to, I don't want to say fake personalities, but it's the social awkwardness and the people pleasing and the insecurities that kind of lead people to act out, and you could tell that they're not being natural. I'll say that. I see that most often in Aquarius and Pisces. I'm not gonna lie to you. And if you sit here and lie to yourself, then you ain't ready for this channel. So embracing your awkwardness, like this challenge says, it's not me, it be spirit. And I ain't scared of y'all. So I may say things the way I'm supposed to say it without coddling and babying adults, right? But in the hopes and fears, it literally says embrace your weirdness and face your true north, which is who you actually are. So it wasn't on the card, but it's in the guidebook where the orcas even threw in a jab. Okay. Others should be privileged to see who you truly are, because you ain't even really no motherfucking human 100%. You're a super galactic cosmic being, or just a very powerful spiritual being. I'll say that because I ain't trying to gas you up, but I'm looking at the cards and I'm getting the gist of what's being said. It's like you are special, and the how special you are is not even all the way man-made. Like, you're not just special because you're unique and we all got a different set of fingerprints and social security numbers. No, you're special because of like your capacity, and where you came from on a conscious level, and what you have or who you have, that's got your back or trying to send you messages. So I think that that's amazing and dope. And I also understand that with being an anomaly, okay, or actually chosen, because I'm still lightweight beefing with the new trend, chosen and enlightened ones, just being any fucking body is insane. And if somebody say, well, who are you to say who is and who ain't? Somebody with God in their body, that can ask. You don't think, you think I just flip these cards because I think they're pretty and I like playing with paper? I'll ask spirit. And I know for a Fendi fact, it ain't no whole bunch of enlightened shits or chosen motherfucking things. I know that for a fact. But I would be an antagonist and hurting more than helping the collective by standing on the rooftop screaming it out. But I ain't, like I said on this channel, I don't give a fuck about what's trending, or who ain't gonna like it, because I'm not the people pleaser, and these aren't my messages. If y'all want a channel that just say, what does Moko have to say? Or those of you that call me Montana, cool. What does she got to say? I got a channel, and I could go online and vent all day long about what I think, but I also think that that's obnoxious. And I shuffle out cards from spirit. No shade, because I have heard some young people or young ladies. I ain't seen no dude do it, but I think I did. The one boy who said he was going crazy. Um, just to interfere in y'all reading real quick. I have seen those videos that said like why I gave up tarot, and I always think it's some goofy shit, so I don't never watch it, right? But this one girl, I don't know, I was curious. I had time that day. I clicked on it to see what she was gonna say, and she said because she want to use her own gifts, that she don't have to read no cards. Like you can channel stuff, and I say that's a dope ass reason. I would have never guessed that some of those people that say here's why I quit tarot just for clickbait would have said that. I appreciated her answer, but as I sat there looking at her, I'm like, man, if you don't get the fuck out of here. But I'm not judgy. I'm just an observer, and I have the right to have an opinion, and I keep my opinions to myself if they're not pleasant, because I'm a Southern belle. But we all have gifts and abilities. I still like playing with these motherfucking cards because they're pretty. They have messages that are beyond my vocabulary, comprehension, and I got a 128 IQ, by the way. Shout out to me. But the cards are so different from the person. The person is me, right? So we order 200 decks for you guys. Like as a reader, that is a wider range and different ways to articulate based on all of our levels of comprehension, as well as our interest. Some things I wouldn't say, some of the illustrators would, and spirit ain't gonna try to, well, it does, let me not lie, because I was gonna say spirit is not gonna try to make me say something to help y'all understand it and say it differently from how I want to say it. Spirit does that all the time, so let me not tell that lie. But my point is, I could have a very upfront, matter of fact, we ain't wasting time, here go the answers kind of demeanor. Meanwhile, this lady specifically, oh, that ain't Fairchild, but some of these ladies, they got this, sway about them, and they get all sweet and deep down in y'all souls, and they say it differently from me. So I love tarot cards. I love oracle cards. I always have. And I don't think it's just something I can grow out of at this point. And when I have sat them down, because I was mad at spirit, and that was personal between me and spirit. It ain't have shit to do with these cards or y'all. And I had other things to do. But enough of that, right? My point was connecting the dots of you not being a follower and putting down whatever fake mask or hyperactivity comes of social discomforts and anxieties, because you're not here because you're an introvert that just want to be left alone. Some of you or most of you are here because while you may be introverted, you also want things, or you project yourself or see yourself higher than life. I done seen some of y'all comments in the chat. Some of y'all act like y'all like Jesus' niece. And then I can't tell y'all lying, because I could tell you I'm Jesus' cousin, right? Metatron's, great, 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 which is a fact. So if somebody was to tell me, well, I'm related to such and such, I'd be like, that's what's up. That's cool, because I have archangel ancestors. So how can I tell somebody else they don't, right? Yeah. So my point was not following, even if it means some confrontation. And don't think that's my personality, being the devil's advocate. I keep my personality out of this shit as much as I can, believe it or not. So those of y'all that say this girl is a handful or whatever y'all have to say, y'all have no idea. I am so fair and non-biased when it comes to y'all. And this is Spirit's show. This ain't my show. I say, Spirit, what do you have to tell them? Or the people that gravitate toward the channel, what questions do they have? What do they need to hear? What you want to do? I never sit at my desk and say, what do I feel like talking about today? I never look at the cards and say, oh, yeah, they on that fuck shit. Or It ain't my business. It's between y'all and spirit. So when I said foraging and not following, even if it means a little bit of confrontation, it's not just because I favor Mars and I was born on a Tuesday. It's literally right here. And it takes some fire, it takes some conflict to kind of break shit up. I ain't gonna hold you. If something isn't for you and us sweet, loyal Pisces, right? This is kind of like the tower, the unexpected tower, because if I go like this, don't do that. Just like a mom or a dad, don't do that. Don't do that. And then it's like carrying on, still doing it. Okay, don't do that. Right? So that's how that's how sometimes the tower feel. That's sometimes how instability feels. And then the cards even said something about instability. So keep that in mind. Well, actually, it says something about being grounded, which is keyword for either it's emotionally, mentally, financially, or physically. But anytime spirit be like, get grounded, that usually comes from a possible lack in stability, control, or energy. All right, so there's that. Now for Mars, because I didn't even look at any special words that it had, but it does talk about not being afraid. Ooh, this is so good. Let me tell you why. It literally said this is a shadow card, one that may feel confrontational. Why do I love it so much? Oh my God, I just be telling myself, because people be like, I have to get rid of my shadow. I'm doing shadow work. And I'm like, why don't people love their shadows as much as they love their self? I love my whole self. And then whatever breaks down into, oh, that's decent, or that's fucked up, it breaks down to that. That's fine. I work with that when I deal with that, if ever it's an issue. But as far as like feeling like a shadow side is bad, that just reminds me of a way that human beings could stay, no matter what, feeling in this lower vibration, not being their highest selves, with insecurities and probably health issues, if a lifelong term of regret and guilt and shame piles up, in your belly. So I strongly recommend meditation is a priority at Pisces TV. And the second thing, because I've met God, right, and can talk to God, and because spirit ain't my cousin. When people be like, spirit said, I do hope people understand that unless you done conjured up some spirit that's your buddy that hang out at your house and answer questions for you, there is one spirit. And if there is not one spirit, then it is the divine collective consciousness of each of our higher selves. And if you activate it, then you and I would have access to these higher beings that somehow all think the fuck alike, with different personalities, but same information, maybe different approaches. That's what I could say, because God might come to you in a way that you're comfortable with, and then pull up on me as this nothing blob of non-physical. You don't know if it's air or water, and it's just there. It looked like smoke, air, and water. You just don't even know what it is. It's just something, right? But then could come to you like the Flash, like they did the Flash. The life force came to the Flash as his passed on mom, but would come to somebody else as a green light, So my point was, this thing said it's a shadow card, and that might feel confrontational. So here, Spirit and I are doing a tango that is pleasant, because we got a little coddling, we got a little gassing y'all up, and then we got a little bit of Mars. So there are many things in the human experience that may make it difficult for our hearts and souls to stay open to the never-ending source of love. We're all wounded, and our unconscious wounds inflict wounds on others. It can feel like a never ending dance. Jeez, didn't I say that earlier? That's crazy. So, you see how, like, we don't have to use tarot cards, but I just like to. So then I could say, see, that wasn't my opinion. This card in the book says something. Um, and I tell on myself, I don't study guidebooks. I think that's insane. I've gone through law school and business school, as well as a theology minor, right, at a mystery school. Shout out to Sedona, Arizona, I think. But yeah, I don't sit and try to study guidebooks. I love the people that do. They never pull them out. They pick up the card and say, oh, yeah, I know exactly what this is, and then go forward. I have an idea, but because this ain't the Moco show just yet, I'll go to the guidebook and say what's meant. And then it'll be something that I like the way that they put it, but I don't think I ever miss a mark. So if I have any readers in the audience, just know that you can study and remember, or you can grab the motherfucker. I like grabbing it because I don't see what's wrong with it. But what it did say is if this card surfaces, it could be for two reasons. Somebody give me a drum roll in the audience. Come on, put it in the chat. Go drum roll. Okay, I'm gonna stop. If this card surfaces, it could be for two reasons. Firstly, for you to acknowledge some difficult emotions, a situation, conflicts, wounds, and fears that are causing you pain and anxiety. So, firstly, what is crossing the environment? One or two reasons. Situations, conflicts, wounds, fears, causing pain and anxiety. And secondly, for you to find your way back to love. So, like I said, some people that have had it up to their necks and you just about to pop, there's something amazing coming for you. And I know that because I saw it in my pre-show, because I saw it in the oracle cards, and I know that because the stars showed up. Ain't nobody fucking with the orcas or the whales, period. And then you have Star Keeper, Star Bathing, and Star Family as your approach, the environment, and the strength of the matter. But it's something else pissing you off. And Spirit is like, fuck them. Excuse me. You know, for people who think, you know, oh my God. I think that was a religious thing that make people feel like saints don't do such things. And it was like, man, please, it's saints that's playing under people's skirts. And actually khakis, right? Because I don't know why they love boys these days. So yeah, don't get it twisted or get offended by my language, but I know that most of you do not. Now, when it comes to Star Family, all right, this is the strength of the matter and what's crowning. It says that you're a part of a team of souls calling support. It says that it's very common for Star Family members to incarnate at similar times. So some of these people, because I'm a millennial, most of my Star tribe is probably other millennials. Ow. Okay, but if I do have Gen X, Gen Z, some baby boomers, all right, hey, to y'all too. Hey, y'all, hey. It says, you know that someone is part of your Star Family when you feel like you know and remember them from moments that you meet. Ooh, I like that. So when I said something about like twin flames, I know some of y'all skin crawl when I say that, but maybe you got another one. Shit, you came here looking for one, and then it's a couple of them up in here, baby. It's a few, so I don't know. And then it's like maybe you looking for the one that's going to stand behind you. Maybe some of you guys would like more support. And maybe that's something that your ancestors or spirit is saying focus on. If you would like love and would like support, then any resentment that we have for it, you know, any animosity or anger that we have toward it, we might have to work out those kinks. Because imagine finding support and love, and now you being the toxic one. Imagine finding exactly what you needed, and then they done ruined you. And that's something that I say, as I thought I was an empath, but I'm totally not. Or things were transmuted, and through the evolution of me, right? Something happened. But my point is that there are some people that naturally are going to feed off of the environment, but you have to protect yourself. And there are other people that kind of turn into the environment. And the cards are reminding you that you're special. You came from a special place. There are some other special people here, but due to some wounds reincarnated with or experienced for the first time this lifetime, due to some practical life stuff, I don't want to say spirit is worried because I don't think spirit ever worries, but it's just like a message to not become the situations, to not become the things that give you grievances, because then you like pretty much high fiving it, being homies with it. If you are a light being, a star seed, a spiritual person, if you feel that you have a purpose or a mission, if this video made it to you, right? Because it's 8 billion people on this planet, trillion, billion, which is a billion, and all kind, like even more than that on YouTube, right? Because we got bots and avatars and all kind of shit, automated channels. So if you're here, it's your thing, and you're not really fully comfortable being yourself, the more intimate, weird parts of you. But I think aliens, starseeds, divine beings, chosen people that aren't necessarily from this dimension or this particular location, you're going to be different, beloved. Unless you are the things that you despise most about the world, you know, and for most people it could be authority figures and economics, it could be socioeconomic, you know, just some things that grinds people's gears about what do they call it, civilization, right? Because we ain't just out there in the free no more. So now that things are civilized, it does make some people uncomfortable at how and who gets to choose to delegate and dictate power and money, what's cool, what's not, all the grievances that a person could have with the world. You ain't supposed to like join it, and you're joining it even if you don't subscribe to any of it, if it grinds your gears and you're against it. But it's changed you. It's the strongest energy that you exude. It's usually what's on your mind or controlling how you feel. Then that's like buddying up with it, if you ask me, or letting it kick your ass. And then these cards say that you're a badass. So life can't kick your ass. Like life doesn't even exist. Life has no consciousness. Life, the word, is something that we created, and it only means we're alive, and we call that living, and so that is life. But the life force, the spiritual energy or the consciousness in it, that's different. So I don't think the word life should kick the ass of the action life, right? So be yourself. You would have a better time, and I think it's therapeutic. I think even if you had the same grievances with life, if you got to 100% be yourself, you were comfortable being it, it didn't get you arrested, right, or punched at a bar, I think you would be happier if you would just be yourself. And the cards are saying that you're not for everybody. And you may have waited a long time for this. So for some of you, it could be sounding like love, but for so many of you, it's just this elevated spiritual thing that makes you even more amazing. So whatever trials and tribulations you had to go through that could have caused you to be angry, they're saying, and I think it's whether you want to or not, but free will is one of the strengths of being a human. And I think that the upper delegacies or delegates, they're big on free will, but they're also big on authenticity. And if you say, well, ain't no there, it's just one then cool. Then God, from the God that I know, loves authenticity, which, believe it or not, trumps good and bad. Have you ever thought about that? If somebody's being good but they fake as fuck, do you think, oh, okay. I guess, okay, I'm not going to go there because then it gets political, but I'm not going to talk about like how we all have this different idea of what God is. And I did also just admit that God could come to you however it wanted to. So you would think that. So none of us can argue with each other. And I respect that because God did say that. But gee whiz, you guys are missing out if you feel like a higher power, archangels and ascended masters, the Holy Spirit and God itself don't have like a nature about them or it that isn't something that you've witnessed or experienced, especially if you believe that you were made in the image of a divine supreme being, right? That means that that divine supreme being, whom is the originator of all of us little energies that spewed out of it, yeah, we're all it. So just imagine what you think about people and what you think about the world. And you think you're a chosen one. So you think God honestly only spewed out one motherfucker. Right. It's a few. It's some. And then just imagine all of us, right? Did I paint the picture? Okay, great. So yeah, God is very funny. The Holy Spirit is comical. And anybody who tolerate me and still high five me, let me know what's really real. So I've learned, and that could have been my own spiritual path. That could have been my own personal inside joke with the creator, right? But authenticity is up here, and then good and bad is cute. So I'm a good person, but really you scared as fuck of everything, consequences, authority figures, being caught, being judged, being confrontational. It's just, oh, I'm going to curl up like a mouse in the alley, right? And you think that the superior God beings above us, our ancestors, your ancestors, they're gonna say, well, they're a good person. They ain't hurt nobody. They ain't never broke up with nobody. They ain't shot nobody. They ain't, they ain't done nothing. They're good. No, it's the integrity of your being. So if I had this weak, sickly being, that just didn't have no oomph to it, no character, it wasn't oozing with love either. The confidence was shot. It was just a weird little being. I mean, it would be cool, but it's not, that don't sound like somebody who, you feel me? Right? So whoever you think you are, be that. If you are the cute little being that's cool, that's cool. Ain't nobody trying to belittle you. But if you feel like it's a great something within you, and you have a destiny or something that is meant to be, to share with the world to some caliber, or at least improve your own quality of life, then I don't think it's cool, is you. I think you got to show up as who you are, and that's going to get you to wherever you're trying to be. So until you actually show up as who you are, you can't even do shadow work. What are you shadow working? Some bullshit? I'm gotta do shadow work, but you in denial like a motherfucker. It ain't even just like honest with yourself about, like, I have been honest with myself about my bullshit. So that's why I think I'm not scared to, and y'all don't be scared. When it come to other people, Pisces be going off. We be talking shit about like all signs and shit, right? As soon as somebody says something about Pisces, it get real quiet. And them likes slow down on them posts. But let us talk about some other sign or some toxic shit. It'd be like 200, like, go 2K, like. I don't give a fuck. I worked through my grievances with myself because I knew I was doing the shit. Whether I admitted it to another person, which I would not. whether I could control it or not, which I couldn't, um, is another thing. But I still knew the whole time, when I was doing things, that it was something, you know, I couldn't call it. It was whether it was the lack of self control that I didn't like why do I do this? Damn, every time, damn, right? Whether it was that, or the wishing I had went harder, type deal, or just where I could have laid it on thicker, right? Because why not? And usually I see that in Pisces men. I don't really see that in a lot of Pisces women, but Aquarius and Pisces are the queens and kings of laying some shit on thick. Like, so that doesn't turn me into the show me, or it makes sure that I got my credentials right. And that's why aiming to be who you think you are, it ain't to prove to everybody else you're actually capable of it. It's to shift your energy. And that's why we are incarnated onto this planet, right? That's what people say. We incarnated to manipulate light, to do something with our light in this physical dimension. I guess that we couldn't do somewhere else, because I'm at the drawing board about that. Like, I know it's somewhere else to do this shit at, but let me stay focused. Yeah, so you incarnating to shed some shit, and just imagine you being in denial and being cute about it, because that's another Pisces trait. Usually in older people, the Pisces boomers that I know, way different from the other boomers. They're also in denial, will lie, hiding shit under the rug. The main reason why generational curses exist. They ain't seen shit, but they believe, right, in all the spiritual and the Lord and God and all the stuff going on in their household with they brothers, you know, messing with the nieces and the daughters. And, you know, it's just been a lot through some cultures. And yeah, nobody is talking about authenticity. It's always like good or bad. So I just wanted you to know that, Pisces, good or bad, these cards said be authentic. These cards says that you are part of a group of souls, a team of souls, and it says call in for support. Now that's crowning you. So I think about the crown chakra, and if I needed to make a phone call through my crown chakra, like this motherfucker doing, see how spirit be playing, that I'm gonna entertain y'all and talk crazy and all that, but just look at the cards. I wouldn't have to say anything, because I don't be focused like that. I only take these cards out when I'm using them. I don't sit and like fall in love with them and be like, oh yeah, I trust spirit, and that I have to figure out why spirit did that, and we talk, me and you, right, about this. But as I talk about your crown chakra, and I was like, well, meditate, look at in the environment. Cosmic ancestors seed the light by staying grounded. Where is this? Somebody trying to make a phone call. Okay. So, and then look, it ain't from as far away as you think. Look at this. This is spooky, because now if I was like schizophrenic or high, I would be tripping, because I said the call is not from that far away. This motherfucker is behind her, right? So I'm just like, oh, that was creepy. In another dimension, you don't even see me, and I'm right next to you, kind of like the upside down. And shout out to Stranger Things. I cannot wait for, what is it, part 5 or whatever, for them in 2023 to tell us it's going to be 2025. I thought I had audacity, right? I thought I had some motherfucking audacity. They got some audacity. But here we are waiting. So yeah, anyway, I said they're trying to make a call, or you need to make a call, and just noticed what was going on in the environment. So I'm going to go to the book. I don't even think I read that card. I'm going to read it. And then in the focus, look at this. And it's like, oh, they behind you. They're with you. Okay. They different. So it's like, I'm not, and see, spirit will do that. Like when I go through my confusion, and when I first learned I could communicate outside of here, I ask genuine questions we all been having since we was kids. Like, okay, what's up with God? Okay, what's up with Jesus? Okay, what's up with this? Like questions that, shit you want to know the answer to. I could just put it like that, because I was just honestly curious. I ain't no fan walking around just doing some shit. I'm conformed and believing something because I'm supposed to. Negative. Absolutely not. And my mom said I've been like this since I was 2. So, and I got it from my dad. But that is crazy. I'm behind you, okay? Oh, focus on that, child. All right, let me see what the Star Keeper said. I didn't even get through the Star Family. But basically, it said, think about the people in your life. Who do you feel is part of your star family? If this card comes up in a spread, it's likely that you've met someone who is part of your star family or you're about to. Yes. So some of y'all thinking about some people or some things. Okay, okay, okay. And some of y'all, it said you were about to. Okay, I'm glad I did read that. I don't know, y'all. I'm into it. I always be into it. I'm so naive. That's one thing I love about being a Pisces. I think that's my toxic trait. Um, because I could fall off of a bike and get back on that bitch. Like, where are we going? And it's like, girl, you just fell. You need to sit down. And it's like, oh, it'll be okay. That was a one off. Right? So, the Star Keeper, um, let's see what this was about. I need to calm down. That was so funny because that was kind of spooky. It was like in the environment, right? And then it was like what you're focused on, and it was like, oh, that's tiny. That's weird. Hold on, wait. I gotta see this again because this shape of the light up here is the same shape of this, right? So I don't know. And no, I don't do drugs. So it's like for some randos come across tarot channels and be like, yeah, she's a nutbag. And I'm like, oh, damn. Right. But that was just how I said it and what I felt about it. And I guess spirit know I'm silly like that it was coming. It came. So there you have it. But what else is funny is that now that I'm noticing, all of them have this thing. So this kind of like a close up. That is something. That is really neat. I don't know. I hope y'all think it's as neat as I do because I think it's super dope. But the more grounded you remain, okay, during this transitional period, because we back at the environment, the more helpful you'll be. Okay. The more you tend to the flames of your own heart, the more love you'll anchor on this planet. This wisdom of the stars is imprinted in your soul. The more soul fragments you call home, the more this wisdom is seated here. So the more you meditate, y'all, yeah, because I'm a huge fan of the blue light, okay? Whether it's Metatron or Nipsey, I'm for it. All right. So that is hilarious. You may be called. I'm having thoughts. Okay, because some of y'all conspiracy theories. So right fast when I said Metatron or Nipsey, I laughed because some people said Nipsey was like Enoch reincarnated. That's debatable. Okay, don't at me. But wasn't Metatron and Enoch like accused of being one person? Um, or had twins, the Gemini thing, and we're in Gemini season. So I laughed. Don't mind me. Because I don't think these people were twins, and then the people that they say are dudes, man, girls, they just changed the name based on where we are in life. But some of these people were never people. I think I know. There were manifestations. So one energy manifesting into different things over time, and then we calling it different things, writing stories about it like they were existed. They didn't exist. So anyway, that I just go off like that. Don't mind me. The point was because we was on the Star Keeper. Back to that. You may be called to be in different places in the world to anchor this light. It did say that. So it did say traveling, but Spirit knew some of y'all wasn't going to travel, can't travel, don't want to, right? So it did say like local communities, and it also said get somewhere, go do something. Just like this different card reiterated. I always say that wrong. I'll work on it. I probably won't. So This one also says that you may be called in some different places because it may not make sense to you, but it could be necessary because once again, you're anchoring energy. You're a vessel. You got a mission. And that do sound crazy to somebody who don't believe in shit like that. But because I know that even with law school in my back pocket and the IQ of an autistic woman, right, which is a good thing before y'all think that means something else, um, I would gather um, that if somebody said to me, you got a mission and all this whole shit, I'm gonna be like, man, you know? But because I know subjectively it does happen, it is happening, I can't say who and who ain't, right? But imagine somebody walking up to y'all tomorrow, not on YouTube, just telling you that you got this mission and you anchoring in energy, kind of like life really don't even matter. You here on some other shit. That sound relieving. That's therapeutic. Like what? Responsibilities, mortgage, taxes, in-laws, like all the shit, the pains up people's asses, right? It's like, don't worry about any of that. Now that you woke, you a star being. You just here to keep the energy and as long as you keep your energy right, you doing your job, man. Don't focus on none of that shit. It's people who do that too, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm a practical person too, so I just wouldn't sit here and gas y'all like that. But I will say that some of you do have certain connections and the capacity and are actually a vessel. And this reading is saying to call out and connect. And they purposefully put that card in the crown chakra. So meditate, prayer, whatever your thing. Um, and it's like something is on hold. And I don't know. I don't know if it's from the past. And I'm only laughing because it's like, where'd that come from? I just be going off on a tangent, feeling one thing, and then I just get pulled somewhere else. I think spirit be doing that. See, that's how you don't need cards, and you just start saying shit and thinking shit that you ain't saying or thinking. But I'll be like, don't micromanage me. Just take it easy. Don't start doing all that. So, wait in this past position right here. I don't know, it kind of gives me like a pause or something. Some of y'all have been on pause with somebody. And I don't know what that's about. Because a lot of y'all, well, just like when y'all don't go to church and stuff, and then somebody be like, oh, well, you been a stranger. So there could be something that's been paused. You know, your spiritual practices, your beliefs, meditating, praying, working out. Shit, I don't know, whatever your energy thing was that kept you afloat, that you could have forgotten about, got taken away from you, was too busy for, whatever the case may be. It is saying, you know, get to that, do that, embrace your weirdness, face your truth, or it says your true north, but I thought facing your truth sound better. Um, and then I just noticed that it was a person hanging out over here like Sade. Y'all know the Soldier of Love video? So it says, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. If you just getting up in here, I'll just go over it again. Current position, the situation. It says, forge, don't follow, right? In an environment of somebody above you speaking to you, right? Saying, hey. The challenge is, it's kind of like when the babies, well, this is kind of like an urban thing, but y'all know y'all done seen it on TV too, where it's kind of like you don't let them take your stuff. You go get it. I'm going to get you type deal. That's what that vibe kind of gave me with the Star Keeper here, kind of giving instructions on, we here, call out, where you been? Hey, and then it's this force don't follow, because hello, do somebody got to remind you who you are? And or some of you guys could be trying to prove that you mature and you emotionally, content, and you nonchalant. You don't give a fuck, right? Because no fucks got cool a decade ago, right? Is that still cool? Like, I don't care about shit. Used to be pretty popular. And if some of you might feel like that, and they like, whoa, whoa, you got a job to do, baby. You can't be down here feeling like that, right? You can't be acting like that. I'm sorry. That was funny in my mind. Um, so yeah, it gave that. Let me remind you, ain't nobody taking your ball. You go back out there and get your ball type deal because somebody doesn't want to be confrontational. It's like if I'm all that in a bag of chips, I don't have to prove shit to nobody. I don't have to go to law school. I don't have to get to some fancy equipment. I ain't got to pay no investors or no. I got a friend like that. Motherfucker want to do everything, but as soon as it's time to do it, I ain't paying for that. That's how I ain't got to do that. I can just go do this. I can. Meanwhile, it's another dude I follow on Instagram that got like a clothing line, and he be on it. He go to all the concerts. He go to all the fucking conferences. He go to the fucking all the venues, right? He be everywhere. That's why I said, and I can learn from him. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start putting these conferences in on the calendar so I know, so I can prepare. And I want to do that, regardless of what I'm selling, right? Just being active and like being a part of whatever the shit is. Now, what part was I getting at? Damn, what made me bring him up? And I was just really getting into it. I was like, you know what? Oh shit, I lost my thought. But anyways, my point was, it was a good point too. Damn. When I was like, okay, and this guy, he does all of this stuff, and he always have his shit right. And I thought that was super cool. What the fuck did that have to do with anything? Oh man, if I rewind it, somebody was liking it and it was making sense, and y'all was fucking with it, and I forgot. So, um, I was going through the cards. Okay, go get your ball. Don't fuck around. Call on your homies. You got some. You're the star creature, this beautiful being that got a job to do. Don't get in the world. Don't follow people. Okay, boom. The focus was this spontaneous awakening. So something a spontaneous awakening is a tower moment. Some of you it could be a download, um, or it just marks the instability that could come from rage and anger and fuck with your other chakras. And so take a bath and lay down. It could be as simple as that. Um, some exes returning, possibly a masculine, could be wanting to call, trying to call, wanting to you to call them. We got all paths lead home here. So if it's not an ex, um, it may be one of your new star tribe people you gonna come into contact with. And then you got the labyrinth here, which in tarot would definitely be like the Ace of Pentacles. So for some of y'all, it could be marriage, it could be money, it could be being grounded, going back to school, learning some shit, getting a mentor. Um, but all paths lead home talks about inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. That spirit being funny because y'all be wanting people to sit on this motherfucker all day long and say what the messages are. And it could be as simple as 3 sentences like the truth, the main thing that you probably could focus on right now today or for that situation. But what fun would that be if I came on here and was like, yeah, you don't meditate enough and you are suffering from some things that's normal for star seeds, like, and you thinking it's life. And you probably thinking it's life because you incarnated with some of them, so it started early in life, right? So you just think that this is life and you programmed like you've been programmed. So you came in on a program, not knowing you came in on a program, but you blaming all of these things for what's happening in your life. Um, and it's not any of those things. You incarnated with a certain energy. You touched down through certain transits. Those planets have behaviors. You got some, right? And so all of that, here's your natural core star being that I'm sending down there. And then what gets on top of it is all of those transits and all of that energy, all of that extra stardust. And then what happens is you get into a baby, anywhere between infant and 7-year old is when souls jump in bodies for real. So then you incarnate through the genetics. And then humans have programs in their blood, whether they know it or not. Whether it's what's hereditary, whether it's learned behaviors, society, actual genes that were created during the dramatic age when they saying the shit was really popping off. Ain't got shit on what we doing today though. And I tell you all of that and then say you are forgetting your inner essence because all this other shit on it. And that little bit is stronger than all the extra shit. And that's why I feel like it's so much to wipe off and redo and start over and do right because it's a lot. And then my little bit of good is in there. Kind of like initiating it all or knowing that I should be doing something else or that something ain't right. So you go on this journey, you start disconnecting from the big part and you strengthen the little part. And some of you guys are doing amazing with that. And all spirit is saying is calm down, big fella. Okay? Bathe. Stop taking them showers. Might need to bathe. That you're not for everyone. So who gives a fuck that you've been single so long? Don't get upset that because it's a higher percentage of people that aren't the caliber of person you've grown to be. And you're probably, now returning to Kevin Samuels, you're probably over 30 with certain standards and stipulations that don't match other people your age because they on some other shit. They want to take flights or they the reason that they fucked up, at their age. But yeah, so there was a pause somewhere. Don't have to be in your relationship life. Could be anywhere. You felt you needed to wait. Some of you guys got South Node Pisces. Like y'all reincarnated and was Pisces again because it's giving me like the hangman there in the past. But yeah, so that said, well, I'm already on over 3 minutes at this point. But my point was, yeah, it'd be real quick to say that you have to stand up for yourself about something and calm down at the same time, for sure. But some of you guys are going to be meeting people, and that also has to do with another transit because we've been talking about Venus and how Venus has really been stirring some things up. And when she disappear or get into an uncomfortable transit, I can always tell. Then when she get out that transit, you got this vibe. You getting money, you spending money. Then she go dip off and do some shit, and you be like, "Oh shit, where the money was going? Fuck. Oh no!" And then now, instead of getting money and things, all the shit the Empress like to do. I don't care if it's healthier food, some fruit, that extra parfait for brunch, or some designer shit. It's like where you go, and then you in Mars phase, where it's confrontation. Reality, fuck, how I truly feel, I don't have any distractions. So that is what I have. Lastly, I did want to go through in all seriousness, right? When am I ever serious? Never. All paths lead home is the outcome and or the advice. So I did want to give a second on that. It's normal to look to the external world for answers and guidance. What's revolutionary is turning your gaze inward. You're being called to source your guardians, your guidance from. Oh, okay. You're being called to source your guidance from within. To study the terrain of your inner landscape, to develop a reliable relationship with your soul. The more time you spend connecting with your soul, the deeper the connection will become. Oh, didn't I say all that? This is spooky. The challenge for empaths. Damn. I just should shut up. I did say that. I think spirit is smart alecky because I be like, tell me, pull exactly what you want. I'm going to stick to that because I ain't putting my opinion. They be calling me mean or whatever. And so that hurt my feelings because I was like, me. So I was like, okay, I'm not giving them any of my personality. I'm just going to read. And then we be saying the same thing. So that's crazy. So spirit's just like poking fun at me, but y'all don't know. And then they be like, this motherfucker crazy. They don't do that? Okay. So good. The world has changed. So the best way, okay, to develop this is to develop a daily practice. Damn it. I said that. That helps you to keep checking in. It says to draw on the wisdom within and let that be the authority in your life. Hello? If this card appears, you may be called to develop or switch up your spiritual practice, to get in the habit of turning your gaze within, getting centered for the day before consuming anything from the outside world. Literally what it says. That is crazy. To start from a feeling of homeness, and throughout each day to find simple ways to keep coming home. See, wasn't that nice? Oh my God, that was so pleasant. Oh, and it also says this doesn't mean switching off the realities of the world. We need as many conscious people as possible living with their eyes wide open. Rather, it's a call to start your day from a place of connectedness, grace, and devotion. So when you go out into the world and when you let the world in, you do it from an unshakable state of being. So, oh my God, was that not the most feminine, graceful? That was like a fucking chat GPT response letter, right? Have y'all ever Googled like a nice way to say boop, boop, boop? That was so nice. Oh my God. Did y'all hear that? It was like basically be cool, you know, do your spiritual thing. That's what they poking at you hard about that. But, you know, yeah, be human, stay in reality. Yeah, we get it. Right? But it was like, you should be grounded so that you're in a state of being that's not shakable. So you wouldn't be out of body. You wouldn't be having grievances. You wouldn't feel oppressed, because that's where stress and worry come from, right? You think this thing is going to win over me. Like if you can't pay some shit, that's like you're feeling how it feels to, you know, lose to that situation, right? So yeah. And then imagine feeling like that and then still don't pay the motherfucker or get it paid, but you just spent days, weeks, hours feeling away, even though the outcome that didn't, y'all get what I'm saying, right? Like they don't change the outcome. Like when you worry about usually the future, because people don't worry about the past. When you worry about the future, you create this negative chemical in your body, right? That's what creates, well, that's not the only thing that creates, but that's one way to create imbalances, because your thoughts turn into emotions, your emotions turn into actions, and so your thinking and your feeling creates negative hormones, or whatever the medical terminology is for them. And then you start to become ill or change in behaviors, you know? And yeah, some people born like that, you know. There's people that some body parts don't do what it's supposed to do or whatever, and it could create some deficiencies or whatnot. But those of us that just sit and secrete negative chemicals that only we can create with those exact thoughts and feelings, that's bad. You know, that's not the best thing. And just like you can do negative ones, you can do positive ones, where humans have the capacity to create ecstasy within them, right? And I ain't talking about just like jacking off or no shit. Don't get crazy. But yeah, your body naturally could do a thing, and usually through meditation. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, this was a great talk. I do hope that some good comes of it, and you walk away from this motherfucker out of denial about what you be capping about. Really becoming that person, feeling that shit, and actually becoming successful. So you haven't been capping this whole time. You just ain't getting there because it's something in the mix, right? And then when we get all the extra out of the mix, you're going to be cooking with really hot grease. I think I said that right. Shout out to me for staying, what is it, like modern? You cooking with grease. I'm staying hip. Bye.